Hey, it's Russ Ruffino and welcome to the Clients on Demand show. Today, we're going to be talking about how millionaire CEOs think and how you can adopt that mindset for yourself. Stay tuned. All right, guys, it is Russ Ruffino and Mark Von Muser with Clients on Demand with another great show for you today. So today we're going to be diving into how millionaire CEOs think. What is the mindset that produces a company that's doing over $1 million in revenue? Now, I think we're uniquely qualified to speak about this because not only are we doing well over we're doing 8 figures in our company, but we've also helped many of our clients, probably at least a few hundred people by now, scale their business up over $1 million a year in revenue. So not only are we doing that kind of volume ourselves in our business, but we've also empowered our clients to do that as well. So I think we have a pretty good insight into how millionaire CEOs think and how you have to start thinking if you'd like to become a millionaire CEO. So Mark, welcome, man. It's great to have you here.
Hey, I'm excited about this topic. It's great to be here. And it's interesting, Russ. You know, with a master's in business administration, I can honestly tell you not one time did they talk about how millionaires think or about how successful CEOs think. It's amazing to me where in business school, they teach you all the, spreadsheets and profit margins, et cetera, but they really don't differentiate nor spend any time on how millionaires think. And I can honestly tell you it is significantly different than how most people think. So people that listen in today, you guys are in for a huge treat.
So I had to change my mindset to get where we are today, guys. I had to change my mindset considerably. When I first started our online business, I was a bartender and I was standing behind the bar and I was pouring drinks, eventually got sick of it, started to try to learn about how I could make money online. And then eventually that blossomed into this incredible business that we have today. It took me years to crack that $1 million mark. And then it took me a few more years to crack that $10 million a year mark. So there were some massive shifts that I had to make in my thought process and massive shifts that I had to make in my mindset. So what we wanted to do today is just come on and sort of pull back the curtain and share some of those insights with you. Because again, I made these changes for myself and now we're empowering our clients to make these changes as well so that they can scale their businesses up to $1 million in revenue. So let's dive in. The first and biggest shift you need to make is to start thinking from your goals, not of your goals. Now, what do I mean by that? What I mean is that you have to begin thinking from your goals. So you're thinking that of your goal as something that is already accomplished. You're thinking of your goal as an already accomplished or achieved fact. You're thinking of your goal as if it's real now. So one of the things that we teach our clients to do, and this is the most valuable practice that I've ever implemented in my own business, is to start being grateful in advance for the things that you want. So look, you guys have heard you've heard many people talk about gratitude and the power of gratitude and why gratitude is so important. And I always used to think, man, that sounds cool and everything, but it's kind of lame. Like, yeah, I'm grateful for my health. I'm grateful for my kids, blah, 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 blah. And you do some gratitude exercise and you kind of just like phone it in and you don't really care. But here's the secret. The secret is to be grateful for the stuff that you don't have yet. Now, why? Why is this so powerful? Well, it's so powerful because you're sort of playing a trick on your subconscious mind. You are training your subconscious to think of your goals as already having been achieved. Now, the more you do this and the more powerfully you do this, your subconscious starts to wake up and go, oh my God, you know what? I just visualized all this incredible stuff. Now I open my eyes and it's not here. I better go to work immediately reconciling that difference. And so your subconscious immediately goes to work making your dreams into a reality. So this is the number one key to success, guys. If I only had like 5 minutes to teach my kids something, let's say like, I don't know, I was going to explode in 5 minutes. I had 5 minutes to teach my kids something that would change their lives. This would be the one thing that I would teach them, is to spend time every single day being grateful in advance for the stuff that you want. It can absolutely transform your life if you just do this one thing. Everything that I've gotten in my life, from like this great house to, the car I drive, to my kids, to my wife, to my incredible team, Mark, Jane, the people you guys see on this show, all of these people and all these incredible things are in my life because I thought about the things that I wanted. I dreamed about them and I visualized them and I was thankful for them in advance. And I did this over and over and over and over again. And then these things begin to come into your life. They begin to appear in your life. Now, look, I don't know how it works. I don't care how it works, right? I don't need to know how all the principles of electricity to know that when I walk in the room and I hit the light switch, the light goes on. So I don't know all the ins and outs of how it works. All I can do is I can promise you guys that it absolutely does work. And if you put this into practice in your life will never be the same, period.
Yeah, I love that. It's no matter what you get from today's call and every other podcast, I'd recommend you just listen to that, because gratitude, it's also healing energy. And so it heals the spirit. It also heals it and keeps you connected to your dream. The other aspect I wanted to add, Russ, is about making your decisions based on your dream. Mm-hmm. And you've done this very, very well. We see it in our different groups and people that come in. We can always tell when somebody is making the decision based on their dream versus where they are. Meaning, somebody comes into our group and they're like, I'm broke. And the ones that make their decision from the dream said that's temporary. A millionaire CEO is not going to get stopped by that. They're going to get resourceful. And so they find a way. And we get fired up when we see people doing that, because we know what's going to happen. When somebody thinks of themselves and shows up as a millionaire CEO who's going to make those decisions based on the life that they have, and by thinking about it and living in the gratitude as if you're feeling it, it all of a sudden gives you that power to start making the decisions, like, let's say, making an ad spend, like, let's say, hiring somebody when it's time, or any of the different decisions that come along the way about refining your message. These are all decisions that need to be made. And people that are connected to the dream at the end and they make their decisions from that, they find the resources. Most people can't do that. Most people are making their decisions. Oh, I don't have money, I'm broke. Well, they're confusing their reality with their dream, and they will make their decisions based on their past mistakes, which is where they are now, broke, no money, no credit cards, instead of changing that by thinking like a millionaire CEO and moving forward based on that. There's always a way for the committed. There's always an excuse, an obstacle for those that are not.
So guys, that's an amazing point, because here's the thing, guys. And I think this is really where the rubber meets the road when it comes to this kind of thing. Because there's a lot of people out there, especially remember when that movie, The Secret, came out, everybody kind of started doing a little bit of visualizing and doing a little bit of like vision boards and stuff. I don't think that movie talked about being grateful in advance for what you want. And that's really the key. That is really the absolute key. But here's the thing, guys, whatever mindset practice you're doing, you can't visualize a better life for 15 minutes a day and then spend the other 23 hours and 45 minutes of the day totally contradicting everything that you just visualized. And this is the part where success gets hard. I really think this is the part where it really separates the people that are actually going to succeed with this stuff from the people that just, I tried some visualizing, or I tried setting some goals, or I tried making a vision board and nothing happened. Because that's not it. That's not enough. You have to be faithful to what you visualize. So look, I'll give you guys a really simple example from my own life. And this is from like 10 years ago when I was first getting started. I was visualizing to myself, I'm a millionaire. I'm a millionaire. Thank you, thank you, thank you for my $1 million business. Now look, guys, this is when I was bartending. All right. When I was bartending, I don't think I ever made more than, $25,000, $30,000 in an entire year. So it's not like cash was pouring in when I was bartending, but I wanted to be grateful in advance for the things that I wanted. And so I said, thank you for my, for my $1 million business. Thank you that my online business is thriving, that I'm free, that I can go wherever I want to go, that I can do whatever I want to do. And I was doing this every single day and visualizing. So I started running my online business. I started making a little bit of money online, and that business looked very different than what we're doing today. I was mostly doing like affiliate marketing and promoting people's ebooks and things like that just to get started, because I didn't know what the hell I was doing. But I started making a little bit of money, and I realized as I visualized, if I really believed that I was a millionaire, what would I do? Would I keep going to this bartending job? Or would I quit my bartending job and dive in with both feet into building my online business? And I really started to realize, hey, Russ, you know what, man? You're saying to yourself that you're a millionaire, but you're not making that leap of faith. You're not doing what you would do if you actually had $1 million business. If you had $1 million business, you would quit your bartending job and you would dive in with both feet. So that's exactly what I did. And it was the scariest thing I'd ever done. It was this massive leap of faith. I walked into work one day, told them I was quitting, and the guys, I want you to understand, at this point in my life, at this point in my business, I was maybe making, $400 or $500 a month online. So I definitely wasn't making enough money online to like replace my bartending income. In fact, when I quit my job, I didn't even know where the next month's rent was going to come from. But I took the leap, and immediately it's like the whole world, the whole universe just woke up. My whole life woke up. I literally felt like I had been asleep in some dream for 10 years of bartending. And now I was finally awake. So I woke up the next morning after I quit my job. I was absolutely terrified, but you know what? I felt alive. I felt alive for the first time in like 10 years, because I was now the master of my own destiny. I had taken that leap of faith. I had said, hey, listen, this is what I want. And I had made the sacrifice to go out there and get it. And immediately all of these internal resources that I didn't even know I had just switched on. I started waking up at like 5 a.m, grabbing my laptop, going down to the coffee shop, throwing it open, doing whatever work I needed to do, writing whatever sales letters I needed to write or whatever. And it's like I went from being at like maybe 40% of my energy capacity when I was bartending to like now I was at like 200% of my energy capacity. And of course, I got a tremendous amount of work done. I got a tremendous amount of good work done, and my business began to grow and grow and grow and grow and grow. And that was like really the very first time that I understood this principle of being grateful in advance for what you want, but then also needing to be faithful to that. So guys, take a look at your own life and say, listen, you're visualizing having this incredibly successful business. And if you're not making that visualizing a daily practice and that gratitude a daily practice, that's the first thing you need to do, is make that a daily practice. But once you've done that, you need to look at your life and ask yourself, am I living in a way that's commensurate with what I just visualized? So if you're visualizing that perfect relationship, for example, and I'm not a dating coach, okay, but it's the same idea. If you're visualizing that perfect relationship, but you're in a relationship that you're not happy in, you should probably do something about that, because you need to make room for that thing that you've been visualizing, for that thing that you've wanted. So know what you want, visualize it in advance, be grateful for it in advance, and then live in a way, make decisions in a way that's commensurate with that. People like Elon Musk. He took a massive risk starting SpaceX. It was a company where I was like, yeah, I'm going to put stuff in space. And what are the odds of that succeeding? And if you watch interviews with Elon Musk, he had a pretty almost grim, almost like fatalistic attitude about his chances for success. I saw an interview the other day, Mark, where he was saying, I just started with fatalism. He's like, I figured, look, I'm going to try to start this company. There's maybe a 1% chance it's going to succeed, but I'm okay with that. And so he took the action. He visualized it in advance. He was like, look, this thing might be really unlikely that it's going to work, but I'm going to go for it. And I'm going to give it a shot. And if it doesn't work out, fine. It's probably not going to work out, but I'm going to give it a shot anyway. And he made the decisions he needed to make, and he took the risks he needed to take in order to make that vision a reality. So this is the part that really separates the people who achieve from the people who don't, because anybody can visualize, anybody can make a vision board, anybody can practice gratitude or whatever. And most people can't even be bothered to do that, but anybody can do that part. Where it gets tough is when you actually bring that into your life, and now you're making tough decisions as if you already were the person that you've always wanted to be. And that is literally the cornerstone of that millionaire mindset, 100%.
Well, Russ, let's dive a little deeper on this, because this is not even just for millionaires, but it's for every person. But success in the universe rewards bold, decisive action. And history is riddled with that. You cannot study any successful person, whether it's Julius Caesar. How did he become, one of the most powerful leaders in the Roman kingdom? How did he do it? Bold, decisive action. And sometimes these actions were because they had no other choice. When they were surrounded by 4 times the amount of warriors from the other tribes. How did he do it? Bold, decisive action. And really, that's the only thing that God or the universe can reward, is that decisive, bold action. And that's what faith is, taking action ahead of time based on the goals that you want, knowing again, but that's what you demonstrated as well. And I remember you telling the story about when you left the bartending, it wasn't your dream, but it was a comfort zone. You knew you were good for $100 a day tending bar, no matter how miserable it was, but there was that deep yearning inside of you, and you could have kept doing your dream boards. You could have kept doing that, but until you were willing to step out of your comfort zone and make bold, decisive action based on your dreams, that was when you bet on yourself. And all of a sudden you found a way to do it. And that those people are expecting to find the pathway and the solution before they make the decision. That's why they never will. You have to make the decision, take action. And only when you step out of that comfort zone will those solutions and those pathways start to reveal themselves. Martin Luther King said it best. He said, you don't need to see the whole staircase, just the next step. And that's the same thing about taking bold, decisive action.
Yeah, guys, it's so easy to get stuck into analysis paralysis. It's so easy to get stuck into, well, I'm not going to take action. I'm not going to do anything. I'm not going to make a move until I know exactly what's going to happen and I have everything mapped out and everything is perfect. We see this with our clients sometimes where they're going to be launching their first high ticket coaching program. So what we do with our clients is we show them how to launch a new program that they can charge $5,000, $10,000, $15,000 for. And we show them how to do all the marketing and everything to support it and how to deliver that program so it gets great results for their clients. And so we see this with our clients where sometimes they go, oh, my coaching program is not ready yet. My coaching program is not ready yet. It's not perfect yet. It's not perfect yet. And we always try to nip that in the bud, because if you're busy trying to make it perfect, you got to just get it done. Get version 1.0 out there, put it out there into the world, because then you can start having some money coming in. You can have some clients coming in, and then you can refine your program as you go based on what's really happening with your clients. But you got to take that bold action. If you're sitting there tinkering and trying to make everything perfect for months and months and months, what you're really doing is just avoiding. You're avoiding taking that risk. And guys, look, if there's one thing that separates the successful people from the people that are struggling, it's that the successful people have made peace with the idea of risk. And again, that's because they're thinking from their goals, not of their goals. They're thinking of their goals as an already accomplished fact, and they're living in a manner that's congruent with that. And that really, guys, brings us to the second big piece of the millionaire mindset. And that is that they take the biggest shortcut in the world. They take the biggest shortcut in the world, and that shortcut is mentoring and education. So when I quit my bartending job, guys, it's not like I had secretly been coding and building websites and no one knew. I had no idea how to do any of this stuff. I didn't know how to build my first website, which was built on WordPress, which I had to figure out from scratch. I had never written a sales letter before. I had never created a product before. I'd never promoted anybody else's product before. I'd never done any of this stuff. I mean, I was literally a bartender with absolutely no education or background in marketing or tech or anything having to do with any of this stuff. So I had to learn this stuff from scratch. So I realized from the very beginning that if I was going to make this work, I needed to spend whatever I could afford to go out there and learn from the best. I knew that if I had to figure this stuff out from scratch on my own, I probably never would do it. And if I was, by some miracle, I was able to do it, it would take months and months and months. It would never have happened. So I took whatever credit cards I had and I went out there and I hired people that I thought were the best in the world to show me how to do this stuff. And every time I did that, I was richly rewarded for doing it. Now, look, some of the programs I invested in, frankly, sucked. Some of the programs I invested in were actually pretty good. And some of the mentors I hired were terrible. And some of the mentors I hired were great. But it didn't matter because I was able to pull enough gold, mine enough gold and diamonds from the stuff that was pretty good, that I was able to move things forward much, much faster than I would have been able to if I was just doing it on my own. So please, please, please don't try to figure things out from scratch. Look, I don't care if you're building an online business or a coaching company. I don't care if you're opening a donut store. Even if you're going to go out there and open a donut store, go out there and find someone with a chain of successful donut stores who can mentor you into how to do it right. Because guys, here's the thing. Most businesses fail. Most people fail, whether they're going into coaching or whatever business it is. And the reason they fail is because they don't know the road ahead. And the reason they don't know the road ahead is because they don't have a guide. So go out there and get a mentor, get a guide, get someone who can say, hey, look, this is the way that you go. Don't step on that landmine. It's there and we know it's there. And watch out for this thing. And if you run into a problem, they can support you through it. Go out there and take the biggest shortcut you can. Invest in mentoring, invest in your education. Don't try to figure this stuff out on your own because it's not going to get you anywhere.
Russ, when you tell that story, it always amazes me, and that people don't even know the half of how much you were invested in your dream. And I remember my journey was the same thing. I remember I was, God, I don't know, 24 at the time, maybe, I don't know, 25 maybe. And I remember I was up in San Fernando Valley and waiting tables trying to break into real estate. And even as you know, Russ, when I was 25, 26, 27, I was still getting carded into 18 and over bars. So I literally looked like a kid wearing my dad's suit. So to break into high-end real estate when you look like you're 15 is not always that easy. But what I did do was exactly what you're talking about. I was making about $1,200 a month waiting tables. I was working actually 7 days a week with real estate, but making no money in real estate. But I invested every single mentor that was there, every seminar, every whatever. I was not only there, I was in the front row taking notes. 3,000 here, 2,000 here, 5,000 here. And I remember at the point I was almost out of the game, $38,000 in debt with $1,200 a month coming in. Nothing was working. And I remember this one guy called me and he goes, Mark, we found the guy. And he said, this is the one we've been looking for. And it was $10,000 back in 1984. So what you see what I mean? That's 5 months income on top of the 40,000 that I was already in the hole for. But he was so convincing with it. I went there and what happened was amazing. I found a way to get the 10,000, but more importantly, out of all the 38,000 where I learned stuff, what I really learned was it allowed me to appreciate the real deal when I finally saw it. Now, in the next 30 days, because I had invested, I made $30,000 in the next 30 days. I made another $30,000 the next 30 days and another 30. I made over $100,000 in the next 3.5 months. But had I not been making my decisions based on my dream, had I not kept going to find a mentor that could really deliver, I would have been completely out of the game. And I would have been like everyone else about, oh, real estate isn't for me, sales isn't for me, and those things. So if you guys want to get to your dream quickly, you need to get with a mentor who can prove it, who can do it, and has done it for countless other people. Right now, if there was one blind spot, and I guess this has always been the case, but there's so many faux FAUX type gurus in the space. They haven't done it. And again, we've talked on other trainings, Russ, about how to pick that mentor. They need to be able to do it themselves. They need to be able to have a legacy to show how many other people they do it. And also they have to care. And that's what I noticed. But it's amazing how that similarity, we see the people that are committed to their dream because they're going to keep doing it until they get the result. And we love it when people come in after they've done a bunch of the other, weaker programs, we'll say, because at least I know they've got skin in the game. And that's what my first mentor told me. She made me go out and buy every single piece. It was about $9,000 from the #1 sales trainer and real estate trainer in the entire country. Happened to be her student, her very first student. And after I did it, memorized it, she told me that, I asked her why she had me do that. She said, because you weren't even in the game. She said, you had no skin in the game. You had nothing. And again, you were dabbling around. Now we can get started. But here was this old grandmother lady who was a genius in the industry. And that was what she took me under her wing and made me invest in my dream. And it's forever changed the rest of my life.
There's no better shortcut, guys. There really isn't. If there are people who have done what you are trying to do, go out there and learn from those people, especially if you've got someone, #1, that's done what you want to do. #2, they've got clients that are doing what you want to do and they're getting the result now. And #3, you click with that person and you want to hear what that person has to say, then go out there and hire that person. Spend what it takes, because I spent it even when I didn't have it. I remember I joined a $50,000 mastermind one time. I definitely didn't have $50,000. I really just had enough to afford like that first payment, and I put it on my Amex. And then I had to kind of cross my fingers and hope that it worked out, but it did. Every time I've ever made a leap of faith like that, it's always worked out. And that goes back to the first thing we talked about, which is thinking from your goals. If you were the person you wanted to be, would you hesitate to invest in that kind of mentoring? Of course you wouldn't, because it's going to get you where you want to go much, much, much faster. And guys, that really brings us to the third piece of that millionaire mindset, and that is to be decisive. To be decisive. As Mark's been talking about this whole time, it's about taking bold action. All throughout human history, whether you think these people were good people or bad people, I'm not talking about that, right? Like, Julius Caesar was probably a jerk. I don't know. But my point is they were able to accomplish just things that changed the course of history because they took bold action. And if you're taking bold action and trying to do something really good, which is to build a great coaching business that serves the world and changes the world one client at a time. If you're trying to do something worthwhile and you're taking bold action, you're going to be unstoppable. Absolutely unstoppable. But you must take that kind of bold action, and you must be decisive. The worst place you can possibly be in your business is in this place of indecisiveness and hesitation, where you're trying to build this business, but you're doing it with the brakes on. Guys, let me tell you something. Building a brilliant business, an amazing business is damn tough. It's really tough. Even if you have good guidance, it's still difficult. But what makes it damn near impossible is if you're at war with yourself the entire time. That makes it really tough because it's hard enough to contend with just what life's going to throw at you. But if you got the brakes on because you're at war with yourself and you're indecisive about what you should be charging or what your program is going to be or who you want to work with or just any of those basic decisions that you need to make in your business, you're going to be fighting with yourself every step of the way and you're not going to get where you want to go. That's another reason why a mentor can be so valuable, guys, because they can help you clarify those choices and they can kind of hold your feet to the fire and make sure that you're making those decisions quickly in a timely fashion and that you're following through on them. But you must cultivate that trait of decisiveness. It's absolutely essential. Every successful person you'll ever meet is a decisive person, period, end of story.
Yeah, if you study Steve Jobs, look at Steve Jobs, you're going to see countless cases where bold action led the way. If you look at Elon Musk, you're going to see bold action. You're also going to see it in other areas as well, whether or not it is, Tom Brady, now with Tampa Bay. If you look at these coaches and you look at these teams, look at it in martial arts. I remember in Bud's training and SEAL training, there was this one demonstration I did with Chief Jaco, and you're standing in front of the room, and then he's like, I want you to block, because he knew I had a background in martial arts. He goes, I want you to block every punch that I throw at you. And he basically starts slapping, and you get the first one, you block the second one, you block the third one, but pretty soon it comes in faster and you miss the first one. It hits you in the face. Next thing you know, as I go to block that one, now I get hit on the other side of the face. And all of a sudden I'm reacting to what's coming at me. And all of a sudden I'm getting smacked like crazy. Then Chief Jaco said, why don't we do offensive mindset? And he explained it. He said, if violence is imminent, or if that's it, the objective for you, the minute I come in your space, I want you to strike Chief Jaco. Told him to strike me. Now, just by shifting my mindset and taking action first, he couldn't lay a hand on me. And I never forgot that lesson, because it's the same thing what we do with our goals. But the problem is we are reacting to life instead of creating what we want with an offensive mindset. And so what happens for people when we talk about being decisive, are you making your decisions based on your goal, or are you reacting to that little slap from the fact that your credit cards, or the little slap because you're behind, or the little slap? And so what happens, people will spend their whole time and you can't block at all. But if you shift to that offensive mindset and you start moving in that space, now other things have to react to you. And it's what they teach in SEAL team. It's what they teach in different self-defenses and martial arts. And it's what I had a lot of success with. If I was initiating, I was very successful. If I always tried to play defense, I was always going to take a shot here or there. And I've seen it also in business. The people that succeed the most are the ones that are saying, that's my goal. What do I need to do? I'm doing it. And they'll figure it out after those decisions are made. But you don't get the feedback, even if they fail, which there is no fail. If I reach out there and I try something, but I do it quickly, I get the feedback quickly so I can adjust quickly and now figure out what does work. Instead of being in that habitual someday zone, in that purgatory area where you're not really stepping forward, you're not really stepping out, and you're miserable. So bold action, guys, you got to be decisive. And it's not that complicated. If you're making your decision on your goal, that's it. Do you want to make $1 million and have massive impact and have a massive legacy for your family to look to? Or do you want to go ahead and make it convenient and comfortable? So decisive action is huge.
Mark, that's so brilliant what you said, because it really is, are you willing to pay the price or not? Are you willing to take action in a manner that's consistent with your goals, or are you not? I mean, it really just comes down to that, you guys, because that passive mindset of sitting around and not doing anything is just not going to get you where you want to go. You got to be decisive. You have to take bold action. And I like the way that you put it, Mark, with having an offensive mindset. Like, I'm not going to sit there and wait for what's going on. I'm going to make things happen. So guys, look, if you're thinking from your goals, like we talked about, then you're really thinking. But if you're not thinking from your goals, you're just reacting. And if you are reacting to whatever the world throws at you, you're not going to be where you want to go. There's this, it's kind of hard to explain, because there's almost like this element of insanity to it. It's like, we teach our clients, Mark, honestly, to do stuff that seems insane to normal people. And that's true for all of you guys. I mean, I don't care what your thing is. If you're helping people lose 60 pounds and get in the best shape of their lives, that's kind of impossible to normal people. If you're helping people fix their marriage that's on the verge of divorce, that's amazing. I mean, you're working a miracle. So we're in the business of doing the impossible. Our clients pay us, all coaches, they pay us because we have the power to get them to achieve something that they thought was impossible. So there's this sort of element of almost like madness to it, or it seems crazy to normal people. It seems crazy for Alexander the Great to say, hey, you know what? I'm 18 years old or 17 or however old he was. I'm going to go conquer the world. Cool. You guys with me on this? Great. Let's go do it. Or for Caesar, who was under attack from Rome, to take his legion and cross the Rubicon and invade Rome, which was crazy, but he did it and it worked. So all of these great achievers throughout history, they've done things that seem so crazy to normal people because it's like, how are you going to do that? And then they go and they do it. And what empowers people to do that stuff that's so bold that is what the universe actually rewards is to have this mindset that me and Mark are talking about, where you're visualizing this stuff every single day. You're cultivating that dream inside yourself so that it's so real. And then you're taking action based on it, even if you're taking action sort of against all odds. That is what creates success. And most people, guys, you have to understand, most people never even take a shot. So you took a shot, you tried to start a coaching business and it didn't work out. Fine, pick yourself up and do it again. This time hire a mentor who can help you get there. But most people never even try. Most people never take a shot. They have a dream of something they want to do, a business they want to build, or something they want to achieve. And they never really put that first step forward and actually go for it. If you've tried to build a business or you're in the process of building a business, hey, congratulations to you, because you're one of the very few who's actually going for it, who's actually taking a shot. And if it doesn't work out the first time, so what? You try it again, you try it again, you try it again. In the beginning, we failed so many times. I failed so many times. I tried so many different strategies and so many different tactics, so many different things that did not work. But eventually I figured out what did. And I was able to go from wherever I was in my business at the time, doing like 20K a month to I think doing 200K a month in the space of like 60 days. Because all of these little things clicked into place. And now we've built on that to go to $1 million a month, 1.5 million a month. And that's the same strategy that we are teaching to our clients today. The same mindset, the same strategy, the same step-by-step game plan that we use to take our business to $10, $15 million a year, we're showing it to our clients too, and they're replicating it and getting absolutely incredible results. But you must be willing to take that step. So guys, look, if you've put your foot forward and you've taken that step in your business, but you're still struggling, then we want to help. So here's what we have for you. Our team has set aside some time in the next 48 hours or so to speak to you about how you can apply these ideas to your business starting today. We'll walk you through our client attraction strategy, all these different things that we teach to help our clients succeed. We'll get on the phone for about 45 minutes. We'll put our heads together and we'll come up with a step-by-step game plan for you to get where you want to go in your business. So if you want to do that, go to clientsondemand.com/talk. That's clientsondemand.com/talk. Book an appointment to speak to us because we'd love to get into this stuff with you. There's so many things that we need to optimize in your business. We need to optimize your mindset. We need to optimize your strategy. We need to help you command premium prices, bring new clients in the door at $5,000, $10,000 prices, and all these things come together to build this amazing business. We want to get you started on that journey. So the first step is to go to clientsondemand.com/talk and book an appointment to speak to us.
Yeah, the big part, I love this conversation, Russ, because guys, at the end of the day, this is what I love about our clientele: coaches, consultants, experts, therapists, doctors, people that want to make a difference. They're healers at their heart. And I get it. It's a mind warp. They have been conditioned and trained to think, oh, I make $100 a session. And they don't even have a view of what it could be, which again is why the mentor comes in play and also that peer group comes into play. But guys, at the end of the day, this is about impact. And at the end of the day, it's not about you. It's about the clients out there that need you. And again, if they can't find you, who are they going to go to? And so one of the greatest joys that I have, that you have, Russ, we talk about all the time, is when our clients are now all of a sudden getting client after client after client on the phone, pre-qualified, ideal clients ready to solve the problem. And people love it. And all of a sudden they will pay a premium rate to solve those biggest problems in their life. And we get to be a part of that. And it's like, to Russ's point, if you guys are not living your dream, something is missing. Let's book that call. Let's chat and let's find out what it is. And let's get you guys onto your dream. Because at the end of the day, what that means is there's a lot of people that you could help. And that's what we're doing, is help building in that light army of people that want to make a real difference. Because right now they need it more than ever.
Yes, absolutely. All right, guys. So just to recap the 3 components of that millionaire mindset. Number 1 You got to think from your goals, not of your goals. Think from your goals. Number 2, take the biggest shortcut in the world, which is mentoring. And number 3, be bold and decisive and take action when it's time to take action. And the action that you should take right now is to go to clientsondemand.com/talk and book an appointment to speak to us and let us see if we can help you take your business to that next level. So guys, that's going to do it for us today. Thank you so much for tuning in. Mark, thank you. And we will catch you guys on the next show. Bye-bye. Hey, thanks for tuning in to today's show. If you guys want to subscribe, there's a little picture of me. You can click that button right over there. If you want to book a breakthrough session with our team, which you absolutely should do, then you can click that button there or go to clientsondemand.com/talk to book an appointment to speak to us. We'll go ahead and catch you on the next show. Bye-bye.